today we're going to look at why, sensory issues, if you like. So some children would come to us and they cannot wear socks, pants even. Jeans is a big one. Some don't like the feel of cotton wool, wool jumpers. One guy couldn't touch a wet sponge, and his dad thought he was having a laugh because he was doing trial biking, and he thought he was just saying he didn't want to use a sponge because that meant his daddy had to wash down the trial bike every time. But within about 3 months of doing the exercises, he was out cleaning his own bike and saying to me, "Look, Susan, no problem, wet sponge," and it didn't annoy his hands anymore. Another 15-year-old, his mother was giving off because she had to buy so much liquid soap. He was washing his hands, I don't know how many times a day, 30 times a day, 40 times a day, whatever. And again, by the time 9 months, I think, came in, there's a normal amount of hand washing going on. And he's out now working with his stock car, covered in grease, hands up to the elbows, no doubt. And he's able to work on. He's no longer freaked out by this stuff on his hands, which is great. Children with sock seams. I mean, I had one child who was squealing because the socks were being put on her, and she just couldn't wear them. She was actually on the way to being expelled from school because she couldn't wear the uniform. And she came to me, and probably within 6 months, she was able to wear every item of clothing without any bother. So it is a sensory thing. Let me explain it actually. If you imagine, there's nerve endings in our skin, and there's 2 sets. There's a set for deep impact, to feel a hard impact, like running into a pillar. And we've seen it where some children run into a pillar and you're waiting on the big cry and it doesn't come. They get up and run on and you're like, goodness, they're hardy. It's not that they're hardy, they didn't feel it. Their sensors in their skin didn't feel it, and yet that same child could feel something very, very lightly, like jeans, like pants, like socks, and it could really annoy them. And it's another thing that takes away their concentration, because if you're sitting in a conference and there's a stone in your shoe, you're not really going to take in what's going on in the conference until you get the stone out. And so these children are sitting there with sock seams that are doing their head in, and they can't concentrate on the teacher. It's just another reason. So learning breakthrough by working with our hands, our proprioceptory points, the nerve endings turn around the right way, switch around the right way, so that they will feel a deep impact, but they need to, for safety, to know what a deep impact is, and they're no longer annoyed by soft touch. You might even get a hug.